Welcome everybody to Wrestling is Silly Graveyard Smash. I am your host, Evil Eden, and joining me as usual is Whoa Matt Scary. How are you doing on this fine Halloween?
I'm exceptionally spooky. I'm very impressed by the robe that I definitely saw you wearing beforehand while we're sitting on this desk together, not just now as the stream lit up.
Oh yeah, I just whipped it out while you weren't looking. I was dressed completely normally until this point. Oh. I don't know about you, but I am so very excited for this stream.
What a day.
What a day. As you can tell, I have been very busy remaking the whole atmosphere to get real nice and spooky. We've got
all this shit.
Look at all this new shit and wait until you see the other new shit in the ring. There's new cool ring shit as well. Oh, I've been a very busy little fish. Thank you, Detective Barry, for being first, and definitely the first in. I've checked the records. You were the first here. This is a friendly warning. It may get loud if Majima wins the Twitch title, because yes, I tabulated all of the votes from y'all, and Majima won the public vote to open tonight's contest with a Twitch title match against Mr. M. Now, the Twitch title has gone places recently, hasn't it?
Some really emotional places.
Some really emotional places. It went through Hell in a Cell. It's gone through Dead by Daylight, and now Mr. M has had kind of a really strong reign with it so far. Like, he decisively took it and then decisively defended it against someone I can't remember.
Could have been anyone.
Could have been anyone, because yeah, it was a rough time. And now the public has chosen Majima from the Fight Boyfriends to defend the title.
Crazy. Like, I think crazy is the word for it, right? Just
yeah. I think
mad dog.
The mad dog of Shimano has come to take what he feels is rightfully his. I mean, a few weeks ago, the Fight Boyfriends were kind of a joke team. They weren't getting any wins.
For some people,
they weren't getting any wins. They were just trying their best, and now they have a title opportunity on their hands. And I think I'm gonna remember every single match. I want somebody to remind me to do predictions, because I do want to do predictions this time. So, Majima or Mr. M, get your votes in now. I'm not over. Don't worry, I'm not over.
Yeah, Eden's being cancelled on the chat. You've only got a certain amount of time before to get those predictions in, because I can't do it. I could.
So get your predictions in now. And I think, unless you want any more preamble. Oh, speaking of preamble, ! Bingo, get your bingo cards in now. Play along with us, and you may have a free square already, because Matt is wearing a funky tie today. It's his
gear. I'm ready
his wrestling tie.
For wrestling.
So ! Bingo, get your bingo cards in now and play along with the biggest and best silly wrestling show of the year. And to kick us off, I say we go down to the ring and we do our first Twitch title match.
Also, hello inside the virtual world VR, where Aiyekara is watching us.
VR, hell yeah.
I think spooky. The lighting's great.
We've gone all out. We've got entrance themes and everything now.
It's crazy. So Goro Majima won the vote in not suspicious stance.
Oh, it wasn't suspicious stance at all. Even if we take out that one suspicious ballot, he won by a landslide.
I cannot say who I voted for obvious voting protection reasons.
Oh yeah,
but I vote for Goro Majima first.
The polls are private for a reason.
Yeah.
And Kiryu out here, of course, supporting his boy, his fight boyfriend. And who, of course, I would say who is his opponent, but we all know who's coming out next. It's
The despicable, the deplorable, the... What a bell end. It's Mr. M.
What an absolute bell end.
Someone's have to see him though, yes.
He has his one fan.
Yeah. Still reveling in having that belt.
There is our beautiful gaudy purple belt. This is, of course, for the Twitch title.
From Japan, weighing in at 205 pounds, Mad Dog Shibata.
The Mad Dog of Shimano.
From Queens, New York, weighing in at 226 pounds, he is the Pro Wrestling Internet Wrestling Champion, Mr. M.
Now, I can't be the only one hoping that Mr. M's reign ends here.
I think it's a consensus among the entire fan base.
It would be good to get the belt in the hands of a real hero again. There's Japanese Andre here, your senior official.
Maybe already living official by the end of the night.
Perhaps, yes. And they are off. Oh, imagine we're going in strong with some quick strikes. Mr. M's showing him off there. Oh, going for that tombstone lung blower fresh off the bat. I thought he was going to start ending this early with a full-on tombstone then. Oh, the knee down on the arm. Oh, and there's that springboard moonsault. Come on, Majima, the fans do need this.
Something. Anything to pick up. Here it goes.
Oh, he gets the knees up for the 450 splash. Oh, but Mr. M returns with a big pump kick, though.
Oh.
And that moonsault lands, again. Gets the pin. Just a one count, though.
One with power there.
Yeah. Come on, Majima. Majima up to your feet. Oh! A quick kick and then ducking the dragon, the Enziguri, it seems. Mr. M having a dominant performance so far. Oh, getting a roll out of the way. Getting his blocks up. See if he can bring to the match now that he's back on his feet. Oh! The springboard moonsault again. Mario getting out a lot of these so far. Oh, big Enziguri. Being pulled.
Having an early advantage in this match.
Yeah. Oh, still just a 2 count there.
Kiryu super invested in this match, it seems.
Oh, Northern Light suplex with a roll through.
Oh,
imagine we're getting a kick out there, and Mr. M ducks the kick. Oh, poison Rana. Oh, manages to get out of the way. One of those moonsaults though into an empty pool.
Oh, we're loaded up. Here we comes.
Oh, a devastating knee strike there. Channeling a little bit of Shinsuke Nakamura as we go for a big stun dog millionaire. Gets the pin.
This could be it, new champion.
Oh, just a 2 count though. Imagine we're not letting him up for a second though. Getting fight forever chants from the crowd right now as Majima ascends to the top rope. Big double foot stomp right to the chest of Mr. M and a standing shooting star splash. Oh, he tries his own moonsault, but the pool is empty. Maybe getting a little bit too eager, Majima. Oh, Head scissors there from Mr. M, getting some strikes. Imagine we're taking the fight outside. Kiryu, a noble fighter, making distance. Kiryu doesn't want to cost his fight boyfriend the match here. Mr. M catches for the dragon screw.
Japanese Andre starts to count out for 10. Then if they go ends in count out, then the champion's advantage, and Mr. M, excuse me, retains the Twitch title.
Yes, it would be a ridiculous way for Mr. M to win, but it's not unheard of. Goes for that roll through for that second suplex. Oh, devastating.
No, Mario's choice here.
Oh, just leaving Majima on the outside.
Oh.
Majima snapping back to his senses. Rolls back in. Reverse waistlock. Oh, and a big German suplex to Mr. M.
Crumples under that suplex.
Rises to his feet, gets in a nice lock. Oh,
half and off.
Half and off suplex. Majima back on top once again. Let's see if we can capitalize on this. Oh, spins around. Here we go. A second stun dog millionaire.
Right in the middle of the ring.
Gets the cover. Nowhere for Mr. M to go. Oh, a 2.5 count. Oh. Oh, Majima ascending to the top rope. What has he got in store? Oh, another one of those huge double stomps. Kiryu is ecstatic right now. Oh, a breakdance leg drop.
Oh, what's on his feet?
What's he got in store? Oh, Mario with the back elbow and the huge Superman punch. Oh, and there's the ripcord Spanish fly. This could be it for Majima. Oh, a 2.5. Majima has a lot of fighting spirit in him.
These two are blowing the roof off of the opening match.
This is only the beginning of Graveyard Smash.
I've never heard the Fight Boyfriends Appreciation Society being this loud before. They can sense it's on a knife edge right now.
They are on fire. Majima reverses, gets the big chop and a huge kick to the back. Oh, Mario though getting a punch back of his own. Oh, going for another ripcord Spanish fly. Oh, still just a 2.5 though.
Still in this,
he ducks the kick. Oh, the step up enziguri though. Oh, and just a big suplex.
Close to the ropes there.
Gets the pin. Oh, and that is it. It was a hard-fought match, but Mr. M is still your Twitch champion.
What a barnstormer to start off. The despicable, the deplorable, the massive bell end that is Mr. M retains the Twitch title.
It was one hell of a match, though. What an opening contest, and I think, let's go at the desk and talk about this, because I think Majima does not leave this on the back foot at all. I think this can only be good for Majima. Like, he's opened a pay-per-view match with an absolute show of force. He's got the crowd on his side, and the chat were absolutely electric. I think he can only go from strength to strength for this opportunity that kind of came out of nowhere for him. I think he absolutely made the best of it.
Absolutely, like I say, that whole match was just knife edge stuff. I think it's always a completely redundant statement. Could have gone either way.
It could have
gone either way.
It very truly could have gone either way for the competitors,
so close. Though. Just so close. But Mario's just this sick energy that he's got ever since really getting under Luigi's skin has just put him in to that spot where he's reveling in it now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Of all
truly
of us.
he's truly capitalized on this like you said, this sick energy that he's like acquired from getting the belt, and like I think the longer he holds it, the more unkillable he gets. It's going to take an absolute beast to take him down. And who that beast is in your hands, Wrestling is Silly universe.
Keep an eye out for the next voting round. Keep an eye. Think about who you want to see try and take this off of Mario.
Yeah, if you have suggestions, put them in the Discord, or wait for the next poll to come out, and we will have somebody take down the beast that is Mr. M. But unfortunately, it was not Magic Man. We got got Kiryu, got Mr. Blobby in the chat. There's a lot of chaotic energy to Mr. Blobby. He could take it, but then we have Mr. Blobby Twitch champion. I don't think that's any better.
I mean, this will color match, I guess.
They will color match, which would be Waluigi has been bandied around a lot, and of course, Waluigi is on the card later tonight in a match that I think you're very excited for.
I'm hoping for a lot of things out of Waluigi tonight.
You're amping up Waluigi, and I think if he comes off a win off of his match later tonight, which with the person he's partnered with, how could he not?
Yeah, exactly. One of the greatest of all time.
I think Waluigi could be the one to come in and take it. Speaking of matches that nobody ever thought would be booked, here at Graveyard Smash, we have gone all out. And the next match on the card is another Wrestling is Silly original going up against the odds, because Slender Man, the Slendered Man himself, has been challenged to a no-holds-barred grudge match against Gus, the referee. Now, Gus blames Slender Man for his eventual firing from Wrestling is Silly. I don't know if he's got the timeline about right, but it was around that time that he kept making the dodgy calls, the sort of calls that us and chat were going, maybe not. And it was around that time that Slender Man laid hands on him. So maybe in anger the events have been mixed up in his head. But how do you see this match playing out?
I feel for Gus. He's an old friend, but
Yep.
Yeah, and let's say as I learned from a very reputable source who sent me a very interesting article about Slender Man, devolving into madness is something that happens when you get too like close to him for too long periods of time. So maybe that's why Gus believes that it's all Slendy's fault.
Yeah, maybe he's caught in Slender Man's web. And of course, this is one of our 2 no disqualification matches for this evening's events. So maybe you want to keep an eye on this one.
Yeah,
for maybe
I'll
some strategies. But I think I've got me poll up. I've got my last poll sorted. I think it's about time we go down to the ring and see how this shakes out.
I'm just very spooky now.
Yeah, it's a spooky echo, not a bad programming echo. It's a spooky echo.
Not at all.
So emotionally drained from that first match. That was one hell of an opening match. I think it's easy to say that was Majima's best match.
Keeping in mind that one of the other matches he's had was against Kiryu in Hell in a Cell. So,
oh yeah, like that Hell in a Cell was an absolute barnstormer, but that really put his skills to the test.
Immense amount of cupcakes and lemonade were sold to fund this whole endeavor.
So many snacks. We bought a sound system. It's great.
Yeah, it's the biggest like boombox we could buy from our local Argos. I'm seeing that Gus will be absolved of all foes if he wins this match against Slender Man. So even bigger stakes on here for old Gus the ref.
I don't know if he's got it in him. I genuinely don't know if he's got it in him. Slenderman come down to the ring, and now we see Gus, the referee, making his wrestling is silly. It's not even an in-ring debut. It's a wrestling in action debut. That's the word I was looking for.
He's broken out his very special different shades of black stripe.
Yeah, black on black, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's Halloween, you can't wear the white stripes.
No.
Oh yeah, he's come out to an absolute banger of a guitar riff.
That theme song was issued to us by the referees union, so we had to use it. So.
Yeah.
And he's changed shirts. Wow.
Oh yeah, that was his entrance and shirt. This is his fighting shirt.
Yeah. This is my fighting shirt.
He's got to dress like a referee for the fight, just to confuse all the people that come in.
Yeah. You'll play mind games with Slenderman.
Yeah. Get some big knee strikes in. Getting control quite early on. Oh, choking Slenderman with his feet in the corner now.
God, just targeting the light bulb. Oh, just really feeling himself right now. Gus has got a lot of pent-up anger. This is clearly very cathartic for him.
Oh, getting an anaconda choke straight in. Maybe he wants to. He's wrestling like he's double parked right now.
Yeah.
Slenderman, though, not to be taken down. I don't know if Slenderman needs to breathe, so submissions might not be the best way to go.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the mechanics, like biological mechanics of Eldritch Horrors are. So.
Oh, just laying in strikes, bouncing Gus off the ropes. Oh, and a huge splash into a pin. That hot start could only get Gus so far. And a 2 count already. This could not look good for the referee. Oh, gets in an elbow, though. Oh, goes for a punt kick. Slenderman ducks.
No.
Oh,
swinging with that lariat and being a DDT for his troubles.
Couldn't make it land.
Slenderman once dealing with the problems of being one of the biggest competitors in wrestling is silly.
Huge
oh my
kick
goodness.
Into a moonsault. Gus flipping around like nobody's business. Oh, here we have our first wrestling is silly turkey dinner armbar. Of course, Gus trying to earn back the respect of the WIS universe.
And there's your shot as well.
Yeah, getting his own turkey dinner's chance.
Oh. Gus did preside over the very first turkey dinner. So.
He did. He's seen a few in his time. Still just a 2 count, though. Oh, goes for that spinning kick, but just lifted into a power bomb from Slenderman. Gets the feet up, though. Manages to get back to his feet. Slenderman again with the foot up, though. Slenderman really has got his number. Oh, big spine buster now. Maybe, I think you're right. I think Slenderman has got into Gus's head. Because he's been one step ahead this entire time. Yeah,
Gus is just wild right now. But it's so, like, there's going to be some mistakes that pop up with just the sheer rage that our old ref is having. So, and this might be where it becomes his undoing.
Yeah. Oh. Just a big suplex slam there. Slenders gets the cover. Just a 2 count there. Slenderman a bit angry by that count, but don't want to make another referee enemy.
No. Never anger a herd of zebras, as my nan always said.
Your nan really knows stuff.
Yeah, she knew a lot of stuff. Bless her.
Oh, gets the cover.
Ooh.
Still just a 2 count. Oh, big Thez press just beating down now.
One of the biggest Thez presses that you have in wrestling is silly.
The Theziest of presses gets the cover. Again, just a 2 count. Gus, for all you can say about Gus, he is a tenacious man.
Yeah. Oh, ducks the punch.
Gets one of his own. Oh, and another one of those big leg lariats. Oh, misses the moonsault though. And eats some stomps. Couldn't get the pump kick. Oh.
Slender was going to take his head off with that lariat then.
Catches the lariat though. Oh, gets an anaconda choking of his own.
Oh.
Maybe trying to... Really wants to shut... Maybe wanting to make Slenderman tap is a powerful way to go, but Slenderman not listening to him. Laying in some big strikes. Oh, backbreaker now.
And then again with that splash.
Not staying on for the pin though this time. Maybe he's thinking through, wants to get a lot of damage in before he lays in that pin.
I believe he's trying to tear off Gus's face right now. Andre is shielding the people at home from seeing this horrible sight.
We can see an alternate view on the monitors. You do not want to see what we just saw.
Well, just took his face off and put it back on.
Yeah. Oh, the spear out of nowhere from Gus. Does not like his face taken off. Oh, and again, just a 2 count. Fight forever chants from the crowd. This is our second match of Graveyard Smash, and it is an absolute banger so far. Big, ugly knee strike, getting the pin.
Ready to raise his knee up for that.
Still just a 2. Yeah, I hope he did a lot of stretching, because he's having to do a lot of reaching here. Maybe another one of those turkey dinner arm bars.
I had turkey dinners on my my bingo card, which you can get, exclamation mark bingo.
Oh, getting the plug. Thank you for getting the plug in there before I had the chance. Oh, Gus climbs the top rope. What are we going to see here? Oh, big double foot stomp. Not the same kind of energy as Majima's, but he tried.
I was going to say, that was a very casual one.
Oh, and a spinning heel kick. Oh, shades of Malachi Black there with that spinning heel kick.
I guess shades of Captain America now. Oh, eats a knee going for a spear.
Couldn't land it. Oh, and the massive Fez press once again. Oh, Gus has been bust open with those beatdowns.
Oh,
but still, it's not enough to keep him down.
Oh, the nerve pinch.
Oh, again, that big nerve pinch. That really does rattle through your entire body.
The tendrils just kind of coursing through, like,
Gus with a powerful leg sweep there. Just a few quick kicks to the light bulb. And again, trying to get that anaconda choke locked in.
Close to the ropes. Not close enough, though.
Oh, is Slenderman gonna... Slenderman is tapped!
He tapped.
Oh, boy! Slenderman has tapped out. And Gus with the surprise submission victory.
My goodness, good old Gus.
This is
what a redemption story for Gus, right?
What an arc. What a way to earn your respect back from the Wrestling is Silly world. But now there's only really one question to be asked. Like, does Gus return as senior official? Let's go back to the desk and discuss how this can go, because I think it goes one of two ways. Either he returns as senior official, or does he go on to have an in-ring career?
I think maybe putting him in as kind of like splitting Jumi's Japanese Andre, because I think Andre's he's been so consistent since we brought him in.
Yeah.
Like last minute. I think probably at least giving him some matches.
Yeah.
Because beating a dude up, fine. You know. So you gotta officiate the beating up of the dudes. So
well done. well done to the one of you that
Wow.
that voted for Gus this time. Am I getting double Matt audio coming through?
Oh no.
That's not good. Bear with me for just 1 second while I get the alternate Matt audio up.
Oh no. Oh no.
This stream is of course haunted,
Yes, as it should be.
which is why nothing's working as intended. Let's turn that off, and now we're capturing through it. Oh no, now I'm not getting you at all. That's well, we're stuck with haunted double Mats for now.
Ooh.
Only on this scene. That's infuriating.
So I'm just a haunting presence now.
Hold up, I think I might know why it's here.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ooh.
Yes, do subscribe while I do some emergency tech support. Okay. Are we still getting doubles? Try talking.
Are we
to
still
them.
getting doubles? There's a double mat action happening on this stream right now.
Is there still double mats? It's fine at the moment. Okay, so it's fine
Okay.
at the moment. That's good.
I'll just speak gently into the mic instead. How's that?
Yeah, if you could do ASMR the entire rest of the stream, that would be great. I would love that.
Oh, he wants him on his feet. Oh, snake eyes.
He wants him on his feet. Get real close and sexy with it.
Yeah, sorry. Turkey dinners chant for everyone with their bingo card.
Ooh. So
Why am I moving towards the mic? I just move it up to my face like this.
yeah, your mic is on a stand. Mine's just on my desk. I have to go close to it. You have a fancy stand. We can only afford one fancy stand, and I let you have
Yeah.
it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So we have. This is our first big match. The next match here is our first one might say big match, and that's not to say that the opening match was the title match wasn't a big match, but this is a special match because we only get one of these once a year.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Smiley Case Elimination Chamber match up next, starring all of your favorites. We've got Terry, Batman Beyond, The Unthinkable Horse, Abe Lincoln, Casual Joker, who won his elimination qualifier, Winnie the Pooh, who won his elimination qualifier too, and the wild card, the surprise sixth entrant. And this could be an absolute epic for Wrestling Is Silly. We've never had a match like this before.
Yeah, we've had the Cell out a few times, but this is a whole different beast, the Elimination Chamber. So
Yeah. For those that don't know what an elimination chamber is, imagine the cell, the big massive cell that encompasses the ring. However, it has in it 4 pods. In those pods are 4 of the contenders. The other 2 start in the ring. Every 3 minutes, one of those pods will open at random, and another wrestler will be entered into the match. And your match will only end when one person is left standing. You must elaborate on the blobby porn, but
yeah,
later.
I've got to say, you can't distract me like this. They're called a buzz. You can't have the words. My community is a buzz with blobby porn lately, and not.
Yeah,
allowed
that is a cursed sentence that we will loop back around to. So, but blobby is not in the elimination chamber.
Thank God. We've already got one horror in there. I don't think
Yeah.
I can handle both of them at the same time.
So, where do you think, like this, it's very hard to predict 6 men, one of whom is a surprise. The order's not to be known, but do you have any front runners going into this?
I mean, I think this is the most even of all competitors you could put together. They haven't really had a chance to cross paths with each other that much, but I mean, like power rankings puts like Terry and Abe quite high up, as I remember it. I mean, they say they're all picked from the top contenders.
Yeah, these are the top 10, minus all the champions.
Yeah, minus the champions. This is the cream of the crop. So this is going to be the most even match. So, and with so much like power with the cell, with so much danger in the cell. Not even that with the wild card as well. I mean, that's such a huge boost for whoever is. I haven't even seen I haven't seen anyone who isn't supposed to be here today. So
Oh, I insisted the wild card disguise themselves so you wouldn't have seen them.
oh well,
Because I know who it is. 'Cause I booked it, so
of course you know who they are.
I insisted that they disguise themselves so you couldn't accidentally spoil it. Of course.
Of course, I am an idiot after all. I will just say it out loud. So
we have an absolute like because they're, like you said, they're surrounded by this cage, and the cage is a weapon. Like they've got the cage, they've got the pods, they've got the ring posts. It's all legal. They can do whatever they want in this cage. It is going to be an absolute event, one for the ages. I am going to try and do a prediction. I don't know if it'll let us have six picks, but let's find out together, shall we? Terry, horse, Joker, who? I think it does. Oh no, is 5 the maximum?
oh
no, there is. You can do 6.
oh my goodness.
So get your predictions in now for all
Make sure it's
6.
wild card, right?
I have written wild card. So let's go down to the ring and let's see who comes out first. Look at that big, horrible, horrible arena that we have built for them. Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond out first.
One of the newest members of the roster has already shot through the ranks so quickly.
He has earned his spot. He earned his spot on the roster, and he earned his spot in people's hearts.
Still as intense as ever entering the wing. I'm distracted by his wings every single time.
They're very good wings.
Yeah. Taking the majesty of the chamber in.
Majesty is one word for it. Terror, the word I would use. Oh, and Terry's been instructed to get in the pod. And let's see who is out next. It is
the horse.
The unthinkable horse.
Ever rising in the fans' hearts.
I mean, he's always been top of my heart.
Yeah.
Again, is he going to get in a pod or is he going to stay out? Oh.
We're seeing horse in a pod.
Horse in pod alert. Horse in pod alert.
Just stoop down a bit, buddy. He'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And now, who do we have next? To a chorus of boos. And of course, Batman Beyond and the Joker here have of course, a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe part of me thinks maybe they'll be too focused on each other to
Yeah.
win.
Hopefully a lot of bad blood between them to really focus too much on maybe get distracted indeed from the winning the smiley face case. Joker with the smiley face case.
It's a fitting match, but I don't like it.
No.
Not a fan of it at all.
I think it's like fitting with Terry and with as a Joker maybe hit for a pod. But yeah, Terry and Casual Joker both really rose up their own prominence like from the Joker's Funhouse match.
Yes, well, it's been a very quick, like 6-week sort of burst to the top for them both. And here's our fifth competitor now heading toward the ring.
Ugh. The yellow and gold smoke.
Oh, you know that smoke, that red and yellow death knell can only mean one thing.
The pants.
The pants are there.
Couple of people, for whatever reason, still fans of Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know what it is. But maybe there's just something about that happy-go-lucky face that they just can't hate.
Truly feel bad for everyone else up in the chamber here, being sealed
Yeah.
away with this guy.
Yeah, they have to, like, he's not locked in here with them, they are locked in here with him. Winnie the Pooh getting in the final pod. So our final two competitors.
This is one of the first two who will start off this match, and it's Big Abe.
Pooh pod, the toilet, if you will. Big fan.
A Pooh surging in the Pooh pod, right?
Oh, hate that. Got Abe Rain, Abe Balloon, all the Abe is off right now.
He stands with his flag. He has to take on the wild card.
The wild card electing to start the match. And our wild card, who will it be?
It's
I
Ouija!
mean, who else would it have been?
Oh my god, we haven't seen Ouija since losing up the Twitch title with Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, this is his epic return to Wrestling is Silly after that hellish Hell in a Cell match. He is back. And as you can see, he has not lost a step at all. He is ready to make his mark on Wrestling is Silly once again.
Well, there's a nice relaxing way for Luigi to re-enter Wrestling is Silly in the Elimination Chamber, entering as one of the first two competitors.
Yeah,
against Abraham Lincoln.
he has a slug in store for him. Abe Lincoln and Luigi, what a way to start the Elimination Chamber, as Luigi starts off strong, splitting up that lockup with just a quick heel kick. Oh,
Well, there it is. It's the stuff we love about Luigi.
And there's that big moonsault splash. Nobody quite does it like he does. And going in for a number two.
Just in
Straight
case you
off
forgot what it
the
looked
bat.
like.
And the double stomps. Oh, he is back, and he is back with a plum. Oh, double leg takedown. Oh, Abe rolling out of those stomps, though. I think there's a lot of respect between these two fighters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these two are some of the very
Oh,
early
rolling through for
favors.
the sunset pin. Oh, that could have been a very early elimination for Abe there. Abe getting a foot up there.
Yeah.
Once again,
They
these
gotta
two
be
have...
careful with the respect, right? Because stuff like that can happen if you don't. Like,
Yeah.
if you respect your opponent too much. Whoa.
Oh, diving tackle there from Abe, and takes a step into the White House there.
I like that. That's good.
Thank you.
Just the symbol of just choking out poor Luigi. Oh, throws him up.
Just reverses whatever he had in store, and a diving fist there. Remember, these two have 3 minutes before one of the pods opens and another competitor enters. Oh, raising up to electric chair. Oh, Luigi flipping it into a Hurricane Rana, though. Oh, he has not missed a step at all. It's a big forearm strike and another huge moonsault. Just in case you forgot why Luigi was so good. Oh,
Whoa.
throwing Abe right into the turnbuckle there, going for the cover.
Doesn't hook the leg. Oh.
Didn't hook the leg, just a 1 count, right you were. No, ducks. Oh, and a big clothesline from Abe there. Abe uncharacteristically going up to the top rope and goes for another one of those diving tackles, but misses. Nobody was home. And Luigi with the 450.
Very impressive adjustment mid-air there.
Yeah. Oh.
Not so much on that one, though.
Abe scouting that moonsault, though, and going in for another huge choke. Oh, going for
my goodness.
the tombstone pile driver. Oh boy, got out of absolutely nowhere. Abe is not messing around, but neither is what Luigi. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and who is going to enter the ring? Oh, Abe with a huge elbow drop. Oh, but just a 2 count as Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, enters the ring to a quick flurry of strikes from Abe. Lincoln managed to get the reverse and the quick kick, though, giving Luigi a second to get back up to his feet. Reverses the Irish whip. Oh, and the shotgun drop kick. Luigi getting in the face of the horse there.
Yeah, just trying to flex on your adversaries. There's so much power here with Terry McGinnis there picking up
picking him up to guillotine Abe off the top, and now turning to face Luigi, throwing him into the turnbuckle. Luigi getting a hook up there.
Terry was coming in so hot there, but
a tornado DDT as Abe tried for something, but the pool was empty. Luigi on top right now. Oh, a flurry of blows. Now turning to lock up with Terry as well, rolling through. Big enziguri there.
Some big flippy shit energy happening in the ring right now.
Oh, a quick chop to Terry, keeping him in the corner. Abe, though, managing to get the upper hand. Distracted by Terry, the cushioning of Terry's ass there. And a standing moonsault onto Abe. Abe, who unfortunately has not learned to handle the flippy shit division.
Sometimes you just gotta throw a dude though, reverse, like atomic drop there.
Big atomic drop. And there's the EGOT slam, gets the cover. Just a 2 count though. Luigi with the reverse Pele kick. As a commissioner of the flip shit division, you've got to have your eye on these two.
I mean, it was always something that was in the back of my mind.
And
it was great.
And a standing moonsault. Just a 2 count though. Terry turning his attention to Abe for a second, letting Luigi get back up to his feet. Oh, maybe not.
Trying to like split his attention to try and get as much out of this as he can.
Oh, a beautiful kick there, using Luigi's knee as a stopping point. Oh, and just a straight super kick into a tornado splash. Oh, still just a 2 count though.
No one's out, and we got 5 seconds till the next competitor.
Luigi catching that super kick on his shoulder. Oh, and another pod is about to open. Who is it gonna be? Oh, Winnie the Pooh has entered the fight. Oh, and a big Falcon arrow there from Luigi onto Terry as Abe and Winnie the Pooh square up. Oh, quick DDT there from Luigi. You gotta admire at this point just the sheer stamina in Abe and Luigi. Oh, big reverse DDT there.
Yeah, still managed to stay sharp enough to counter moves.
Oh, Luigi eating the Pele kick there. Oh, and Abe just guillotined onto the top. Who going for a cover there? Oh, it's very nearly a 3 count. Very nearly a first elimination there. Terry trying to split his attention between everybody. Oh, getting a big tiaras there. Oh, a tombstone onto Winnie the Pooh as Luigi rolls out of the way of that big splash from Terry. Oh, it's just a 2 count from Abe. Luigi getting the leg submission in. Remember, this is pinfall or submission. Oh, Winnie the Pooh rolling out the back door.
Luigi's got a cover on Terry.
Just a back suplex, just a 2 count from Luigi though. Terry is a tenacious superhero.
So much like never say die attitude coming out. I see it a lot from Abe and from Luigi, and now from Terry.
Oh, rope assisted power bomb.
There's a cover on Terry on Luigi.
Oh, and it is a 3 count. Luigi has been eliminated. Oh, it was a hell of a contest from Luigi though. Oh, and a second elimination. Terry is now 2 eliminations in a row. Our first 2 competitors have sadly been eliminated. That's Terry and Abe both out, but Luigi and Abe both out. Terry eliminating them both in quick succession. Oh, he's got the nerve pinch down now. Oh, just throwing Terry around the ring. Winnie the Pooh has dominance over across the entire ring at this point.
Yeah, the freshest man in the ring now has time alone with one competitor who's already had to take on both of our starters.
Yeah, 3 minutes. 3 minutes of extra rest here with Winnie the Pooh has over Terry.
3 seconds to our next competitor.
And who's it gonna be? Is it the horse or is it Joker? Oh, the Joker's pod has opened.
Terry's straight out for him.
Yeah. A lot of bad blood between these 2 competitors though, so I am not surprised. Joker has Terry against the corner of the pod.
It's launched back into the ring by Winnie the Pooh. No friends in the chamber.
Yeah. No time for honor among thieves. Oh, big reverse DDT there from Winnie the Pooh. Terry making his way back into the ring. Oh, quick little backflip there to reset, maybe recalibrate the suit.
Yeah, just got to get the gyros recombobulated, you know.
Yeah, it's done something because he's launched a hell of a combination onto Winnie the Pooh now and a big super kick to end it. And there's the tornado splash getting the pin. Oh, just a 2 count though. Terry and Joker separated by Japanese Andre.
Yeah, Japanese Andre definitely dodging all the moves this evening.
Oh, spike Hurricane Rana there.
Oh,
Winnie the Pooh rolling out of that big moonsault.
Oh,
and just shutting off whatever Pooh had in mind with that big super kick there.
Maybe thinking about the poo surge then, but
Yeah, but Joker capitalizing on the break. Quick kicks there.
it's so much frenetic energy. Everyone just switching targets so quickly just to try and take on everyone they can, get any kind of
Neck
momentum.
breaker, big cover. Didn't hook the leg, it was a bad cover.
It's a lot of leg to hook.
Yeah. Terry getting the upper hand there, and a standing Spanish fly. Oh, and a big backflip drop kick. Turning his attention to Pooh, though. Oh, and a crossroads. Taking a bit of a step from Bob Ross, who was eliminated by Winnie the Pooh. Oh, still just a 2 count, though.
Terry McGinnis and Bob Ross, good friends backstage.
Yeah.
So
I've seen them together a lot. They get coffee a lot. Oh, a big suplex there from Winnie the Pooh. Breaking the cover. Gets another one. There are no rope breaks in the chamber, so I don't know what that was for.
That could have cost Winnie the Pooh there, because there's a couple of extra seconds to get Terry back on his feet.
And Joker capitalizing on the opportunity.
10 seconds to the release of Horse.
Terry then capitalizing on the opportunity of Joker and throwing him off the top rope. And it is Horse time, folks. Oh, Joker has caught Terry in mid-air as the Horse enters the chamber.
Stable's open. He's riding season, boys.
The Horse has bolted, folks. And there's your Snake Eyes. The Horse knows what the people want. Terry running up to that top turnbuckle, almost level up with the Horse. That was jumping sheer over. The Pooh Surge has landed.
Hooks the arms.
Hooks the arms. See that cocky pin. You can't just go with the arms. You got to hook those legs as well, Pooh. Gets the arm caught. He's going for that walk in the woods. Meanwhile, the Horse and Terry are going back and forth.
Huge clubbing blow takes down the Joker.
Yeah, gone for that walk. Joker's gone for that walk in the woods. Let's see what he can take now. Oh no, it's the brother luck. The 100 choke, sorry. And he has tapped. The Joker has been eliminated.
Saw the code for a second then. It was crazy.
Yeah. And the foot up for the choke. That was fully diegetic UI. The Joker's a very fourth wall breaking fighter, as you can tell. He was trying to grab the UI and use it as a weapon, but he couldn't quite get his hand up. The Horse interrupting them and just causing Terry to fall straight to the ground. Terry not best pleased, but Horse blocking that shotgun drop kick.
Super kick.
Super kick, and there's the corkscrew splash. Just still a 2 count there. Terry being real tenacious so far.
Going for anyone and everyone.
And a big tornado arm drag. What's he got in him?
We're going to see the people's moonsault. He got blocked by the Horse.
Tripped up on the Horse's leg, unfortunately. But going for another Ross Rhodes, really trying to avenge the defeat of his good friend Bob Ross. Just throwing Pooh to the outside, and those aren't mats. That is just painted wood on the outside there.
Yeah, I can afford wood this week after we finish building the structure. Sorry, guys.
Going for the pin. Just a 2 count. Going for the freshest competitor. Probably not a good choice from Terry there. But he's targeted the Horse now.
There goes the Horse.
Yeah. This could spell bad news for Terry. Terry rolls out, goes for the reverse DDT. That could have been all over if that was the Pooh Surge. But Pooh gets the knee up for the moonsault.
I don't know what he was going for there.
But the Horse interrupted it and ate an elbow for his troubles. Meeting of the minds there between the two competitors. And a full Nelson slam from the Horse. And it's a 1 count.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, Pooh is in dire straits right now, but still managing just a 1 count. Big kicks there from Terry, who throws the horse back out again, wants to deal with Pooh on his own. Pooh, however, getting the upper hand. Oh, Terry rolling through.
Gets the pin.
Oh, just a 2 count though. That could have been it. Oh, there's the super kick, and there's the tornado splash.
Horse wants in so bad, he knows just leaving the elimination here.
Oh, 2.5. Again, Terry throwing the horse out. Terry wants Winnie the Pooh up for himself. Is he going? Oh, I thought.
Oh, he wants the horse
Oh,
on
he's
his
going
feet.
for the horse on the outside. Oh, a spinning shotgun drop kick. Oh, running around, going for something. Oh, he's aiming for the horse once again. Oh, going for the double axe handle. The horse is not showing up tonight. Horse is maybe having an off day. Big arm drag there from Terry. Dominant performance from Terry so far. Can he wiggle out? Oh, he cannot. That is going to take it out of you.
Oh, he's to grasp Winnie the Pooh around his disgusting neck. He's too short to be hit by that lariat.
But bitch, that big clubbing blow there from Winnie the Pooh. Again, another big ugly slam. The 2 heavyweight competitors now really taking it into Terry. Flatliner there. Terry letting the 2 heavyweights battle it out. Probably a good idea. Let them wear each other out. Pooh thrown to the outside by Terry.
Going again to that top rope.
Who's he aiming for? Going for Winnie the Pooh. Oh, a big elbow straight to the back. That is not going to bode well, but the horse interrupting Terry now. Both of them re-enter the ring.
Who's going to have it first here? Terry's got the spike.
Oh, Terry, big sling blade. And there's the super kick. We've seen this many times this match. The tornado splash. Still just a 2 count. The horse is nothing if not tenacious. Oh, there's that big knee support kick.
So much energy being exerted by Terry McGinnis here.
Yeah.
He's had the upper hand on most of the competitors that he's had since he's arrived. He's had the most eliminations so far. Is that battery going to wear out though?
I don't know. There's no charging ports here in the ring. Oh, big, almost like Falcon Arrow, leg capture Falcon Arrow. And Pooh has been eliminated. We are down to our final 2. The horse and the bat. Who will win?
A tale as old as time, eh?
Yeah. The Pooh surge is over. There's the big tornado arm drag. The Escalera, I think they call it, south of the border.
Wants him on his feet.
Oh, ducking out of that shotgun drop kick. The horse can he capitalize on this momentum? Up on the shoulders, Terry though is a fighter. Slips out the back door. Another super kick and the tornado splash. He really loves that move. And Terry McGinnis takes the win.
Holy
well
cow.
done, Terry. A well-earned victory, I think. We are headed for Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice.
It could only get a bit better than last time, right?
Yeah, it can't be worse. What a victory.
Yeah, I had eyes on Terry on the Flippy division, but I feel like he's just completely rocketed it through the sky for this one. He's straight up in the main event now with the holder of the second smiley face case, Terry McGinnis.
Let's go back to the desk and discuss what you think his next move is, because that boy can now basically he can punch that ticket whenever he wants.
I mean, Superman's in action at the main event tonight, so.
Oh, do you think?
I mean, it's always got to be a possibility now. I mean, the Empire is now a factor for Superman,
Yes.
but Terry got that ticket whenever he likes. He just needs to know when to punch it in, right? He
Yeah.
just knows when the mode, and he's been taught well from master strategists. So
Yes.
expect the unexpected.
If I'm Superman at this point, with that being said, with a new smiley face case on display now, if I'm Superman, I'm scrabbling around. I'm getting the Empire to assemble right now to protect him. Because I don't know. I think maybe, if any of them, the Horse might have been able to run through the Empire, but Terry, I think, would be outnumbered.
Terry outnumbered, but again, he's a smart guy. He's got a computer in his head, I think, that makes all the thinking for him. So it's been a while since I've seen the show. So,
but that was one hell of a match, and we saw the return of Luigi, the people's champion.
yeah.
Of course, it didn't fare too well, but lasted 2 extra entrants before getting eliminated. I think that's not bad news for Luigi. He's coming back off an injury, off an incredible Hell in the Cell match, and to come back and last that long, I think is incredibly impressive.
Yeah,
So
and I'm sure I've got something in mind for him.
I couldn't imagine what you have up your sleeve for a man with a fighting style like Luigi's. But
Also, we can all breathe a sigh of relief here.
yes,
Winnie the Pooh is not gone.
Winnie the
not
Pooh
gone
did
today.
not win. Winnie the Pooh is not going to be the next world champion. Everyone can exhale.
For a second, because next.
Because next is...
Before we do that, poll, did we get the predictions?
We'll do the prediction now. The winner was Terry, and I believe not a single person voted for Terry. So I apologize to everyone, including Loken, who apparently put a lot of booty on the line for the unthinkable horse. Let's have a look. We had 500 points on the horse. We had 150 on the wild card and 60 on Abe. Nobody voted for Terry, the Joker, or Winnie the Pooh. So the house wins this time, it seems.
House always wins.
The house always wins. And now I need to eliminate all of these people and go back to just a 2-horse race, because it is time for the finale, the grand finale of the Wrestling is Silly inaugural World Tag Team Tournament. And what a result we have for you today. Sonic Generations versus the Dangerous Alliance. Who would have thought? Let's bring up the bracket very, very briefly. Who would have thought it would have come to this? I forgot to update the board because even I didn't think it would come to this.
Yeah, but the match no one expected, right?
Out of those 2 semis, the match that absolutely nobody expected, Sonic Generations Team Sega versus Dangerous Alliance Team Bowser. It is a hero versus villain. It is a Nintendo versus Sega. It is old versus new. It is everything is on the line right now. Whose corner are you in?
I mean, I'm in Wrestling is Silly corner right now. I think this is we went out either way. Like,
Yeah.
The dark horses in Dangerous Alliance, the old school team, Sonic Generations from episode 1. We keep bringing it up, and I will keep bringing it up because that's what all commentators do.
Yeah.
Bring up all information constantly.
We get our fact sheet with 3 things on it.
Yep. We have to milk that for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see the team that was on our very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if in my head, if the universe was just, which it isn't always, they'd probably be the winners of this match. I feel like if I'm going to have to pick, it'd probably be Team Sega. But again, the Dangerous Alliance have shown, they say, with they've been the dark horses of the tournament. No one's given. I mean, I've definitely not given them a lot of stock, and here they are in the final. So.
Yeah, Dangerous Alliance have come out of that bottom left-hand side of the bracket was the real dark horse area. So we had to have somebody ascend out of that, but they have ascended all the way to the final. I think I think they could go for the win. I'm going to give it to Team Sega because they have shown, Sonic Generations have shown that they can outdo Power with their speed. So I have to give it to Sonic Generations here, but I don't know. The Dangerous Alliance could come in and just flatten them like they did last time. So
yeah, that was the surprise.
It was indeed.
It seems the chat's pretty divided on it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's we've got votes either way. Unfortunately, I don't have a command for your entrance noises, but a little Sonic quote would be quite prescient now. But I don't have the time to set that up, unfortunately. So, shall we go down to the ring and start and find the inaugural tag team champions of Wrestling is Silly? Here they come. The party boys are here.
Chili dogs blended. We're ready to go.
I hear they're like the fancy chili dogs this time.
Yeah.
They've gone for the name brand ones.
Yeah, we're at the premium live event now.
Yeah.
Chili dogs. Or unpremium live event. You don't need to pay to come in. We'll show this anyway.
Oh, these boys, they know how to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are a people's live event. You know, looking at these two with the entrance music playing, they might have captured my hearts. I'm full on Team Sega, I think.
The presentation is always immaculate, but I feel like these extra little bits that you've added in for them have really rocketed them through. These are very clearly champion material.
Yeah. It's almost in time as well. Perfect. And now, the other team. Who will they be facing? Well, we know who they're going to be facing.
Yeah. We've had those guys. Now it's time for these guys.
And a shift tree, if anyone wants a shift tree.
Oh. Ominous music for the beefiest team.
Yeah. I wanted to find something that was Bowser and Donkey Kong, and all of Donkey Kong's music's far too happy for this team.
Can we find a spooky version of the DK rap?
Oh, there they go, taking the heads off again.
It's taken me this long to realize who entrance this is. So.
I'm still not sure, and I picked it.
Well, it's time to raid. It's time to get in there and see if they can become the first tag team champions.
And there it is. There is
you
your
can see them properly as well.
Your World Tag Team title belt for the first time. Japanese Andre doing the honors. And here we go. Tornado tag rules as usual here in Wrestling is Silly. Dangerous Alliance. Oh, but neither team getting the upper hand as Movie Sonic and Bowser both dominating each side of the ring. Oh, big shotgun dropkick there from Movie Sonic. Oh, going for that moonsault, but cannot hit it. A big scoop slam there from Bowser. But Sonic getting back straight back up to his feet there.
It was a big choke. Oh, almost.
Sonic slipping out of that choke slam at the last minute there. And a huge leg drop.
Momentum shifting wildly in this early point of the match.
Yeah, oh, a big leg DDT there from Sonic onto Bowser. I think if you take out the base of these people,
Whoa!
Bowser just throwing Sonic clean to the outside as in the ring. Movie Sonic has got attention once again. Oh,
whoa!
A big shift in momentum off the ropes there as getting that springboard Hurricane Rana. And on the outside, Bowser just choking at Classic Sonic. It is split down the center now. Momentum shifting between the two fights almost like simultaneously. Oh, top wrist lock from Sonic.
Donkey Kong managed to fly out of it though. Oh.
I'm getting some swift punches. The Sonics aren't usually much of strikers, but being thrown out of the ring. And where's he going now? Tope Corn Hero over the top rope to the outside.
We're going to see something from Classic Sonic.
Classic up on the top rope. He wants him on his feet. What is it? Oh! A top rope avalanche leg lariat as Donkey Kong's head makes contact with those steel steps. Head scissors there from Classic.
It's a good thing Donkey Kong has a peanut for a brain, otherwise there'd be some serious damage happening right now.
Hitting the steps once again. The Sonics were getting the upper hand, but now the Dangerous Alliance have just turned the tides and it's guillotined onto the steel barricade now.
Classic Sonic hoping to get a bit more backup from Bowser. As Donkey Kong is just manhandling Movie Sonic.
Yeah, just throwing him about the place. Oh, series of strikes trying to get Bowser off his feet. Could not take him down though. A huge slam from DK in the ring as a guillotine choke had Classic Sonic completely debilitated. Can we not say hog handling in the chat, please? It's a family show.
more hog handling, please.
Oh, another pin. Oh, a 2.5 count from DK. Trying to put it away early. A spear, though. A spear from Movie Sonic as I think Classic was bust open.
Oh, there we go. Super spin dash.
Super spin dash. Not going for the pin, though. Oh, super kick falling on top of him. Oh, just a 2 count, though. Bowser too preoccupied by Classic Sonic.
Yeah. It was brawling on the outside. There was no way of them, either of them, interacting with that. Now, Sonic Generations in the ascendancy.
Oh, big elbow drop from Movie. Sonic going for the swanton bomb. Getting in the pin. Donkey Kong on his feet, though.
His sharp monkey reflexes getting him back on his feet just in the nick of time.
Just a big axe kick there. As Bowser has Classic in his grasp. A big fall-away slam.
Sonic Generations were clearly trying to up the pace of the match, see if this the speed will get through the brick wall that is the Dangerous Alliance. A cover in the ring.
Is this it for Bowser? Nope, just a 2 count. Classic up to his feet, whereas on the outside, DK seems to have the upper hand. Dangerous Alliance are turning it back around.
Bowser's up on the top rope.
Oh, a big, brutal double sledge there. Quick back suplex from Donkey Kong from the outside, maintaining momentum, and just a discus forearm from Bowser on the inside.
Dangerous Alliance. This is bad news for Classic Sonic.
Oh, Classic fighting out of it. Slips out the front door and goes for that spinning wheel kick. Oh,
Twist of fate.
Twist of fate. Too close to the ropes, though. Donkey Kong going face first into the ring post, though. Oh, and another wheel kick busts Bowser wide open. Quick strikes from Movie on the outside. Oh, a huge leg drop from Classic Sonic in the ring. Gets the cover. Oh, 2.5. Donkey Kong didn't even know it was happening. Oh, a huge choke slam from Movie Sonic on the outside there. Oh, and Bowser catches the leg of Classic on the inside.
Maybe we can think of that twist of fate again.
Oh, eating a big jawbreaker. That's a big jaw to break, and a huge springboard leg drop from Classic Sonic.
Movies. Oh, there's another swanton in the ring.
There's a huge super swanton. And that is it. Oh. Sonic Generations on the outside. Donkey Kong was getting his head beaten in by Movie Sonic, but on the inside, that big swanton bomb sealed the victory for Sonic Generations, who are now so very deserved.
Clearly my pick from day one.
Oh yeah. Everyone's pick from day one. Sonic Generations have gone from first episode to tag team champions. Look at them. They really earned this gold.
First episode, the first champs.
Yeah. They really earned it. Look at them. Beautiful, beautiful champions. Let's go back down to our desk and just have a talk about the tag division going forward, because there's a lot. There's a lot going on in the tag division here at Wrestling is Silly, and I feel like Dangerous Alliance may want a rematch, but at this point, I don't think they deserve one. They put it all there on the canvas, and they just weren't strong enough to outdo the quickness that was Sonic Generations.
Yeah, great push through for the tournament. Again, keep saying it. Dark horses, didn't see them coming, so they definitely earned their spot.
Yeah,
in the final. But as the tournament has proved, there's a lot of really, really good teams.
Yeah,
and they're all going to be wanting to bite their first bite of the apple. They're really going to be wanting to go for it.
Of course, the first two that spring to mind for me are the Deity Dogs and the Springfield Sports Center. I think
the semi-finalists, yeah.
The semi-finalists, they I think deserve the first go at it. But as we saw today in our opening contest, we cannot count out the Fight Boyfriends for gold. I think they really, really showed. Majima in this match alone, and Kiryu taking on Slenderman, taking on Casual Joker in the past couple of weeks. They've shown that they are fighters. They are tenacious. Even if they get knocked down, they keep coming back up. I think they have to be in the title picture.
Yeah, and I'd say as much as I really don't want to say it, there's a lot of Dead by Daylight running around as well. And
yeah.
Those insidious fucks will probably find their way into there somehow. I think, and even the Empire now. I mean, we've got a tag team in the Empire.
Prince Adam and Steve Rogers. There's two guys there. There's two guys there in a team together.
Two guys. That's what you need for a tag team. Two guys.
A tag team, who knows? But there's definitely two guys there. Maybe Superman wants to try and capture the whole of Wrestling is Silly under the Empire. But I think
another day.
That is for another day. I'm so happy for Sonic Generations. I think they really truly earned that spot.
Yeah, well deserved. Great representation of tag teams. And again, since day one, I'm really excited to see what they do with the titles from now.
They have been nothing but completely in sync since day one. Since their first outing together, they have gone from strength to strength to strength.
Also, capturing the whole
of the tag division. Speaking of Dead by
Speaking of
Daylight
tags.
being around the place, speaking
Yeah.
of Dead by Daylight, speaking of tag matches, it is time for you. Yeah, you want to limber up, but you want to do some stretches.
Yeah, you want to
Because the next match on the card is another Wrestling is Silly original. It is another Wrestling is Silly original going up against some of our biggest, baddest heels here in Wrestling is Silly. Whoa, Matt Scary, the man to my left, is taking on Dead by Daylight's Freddy and Jason with the help of Waluigi.
My
Do you
new
want
best friend.
Do you want to briefly catch people up on how this came about?
So, way back in the yesteryears
Mm-hmm.
of Wrestling is Silly, there was a point where we were booking Freddy versus Jason.
Yes.
Because why not? It's pop culture. We're all having a great time back then.
Yeah.
There may have been some slight admin issues
Some
where
might
we
say.
had, and sometimes somebody, I don't know who, but I'm not going to name any names, Eden.
Yeah.
But we had a few mishaps in terms of the matches. We had some Freddy versus Freddy. We had some Freddy versus Jason, but it was the wrong Freddy. We had Freddy versus Jason accidentally at one point, I believe.
Yes.
It was all a bit of a hubbub, and like
I'm surprised that the Red Ranger didn't get involved, because apparently his name's Jason as well, and just anyone who was in it for grabs for anyone at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think like whoever managed to screw it up was had a stern word had with them, and we managed to sort all those admin problems before anything else could happen. But because some people are just some really whiny, grudge-holding little bitches, they hold a little bit of a grudge, against some things that make them look bad. So, and apparently they want to take that on me, and I'm just an innocent bystander. I'm just sitting back here on the desk, just commentating on my wrestling.
Yeah, you did absolutely nothing wrong. As co-booker,
everything correct.
As co-booker, you did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah, I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. Everything was fine, dude.
Yeah.
But still, so Jason decided that the best way to deal with this clear, like at best, low-level HR situation was to drag me off of the set here and make it a match when I wasn't ready. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of him bullying. And so me and my new best friend Waluigi, you've met him. He's a cool dude. Have decided that this won't stand. There's disrespect to Wrestling is Silly. If you disrespect me, you respect all the Wrestling is Silly. So, best way to deal with this is a tornado tag Extreme Rules match.
You really thought that was the best way to deal with this?
Yeah, that was 100%. Like, again, I think it's very like in touch with all my other like HR decisions on the way here. So.
Yeah, you solve all your problems by swinging kendo sticks at them.
Yeah, chairs, hammers, whatever I get. It's just the best way to really get your point over in the shortest amount of time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just to catch everyone up, Extreme Rules, of course, means no disqualifications, no countouts, no rope breaks, and anything can go. So tables can be lit on fire, sledgehammers can be swung, ladders can be climbed and thrown off. Chairs can be swung, kendo sticks, stop signs, anything they can find under the ring, and I have put some surprises under that ring, can be used in this match. Don't worry, I put them there for you. I didn't put them there for those guys. I put them there for you. If they find them, that's not my fault, but I put them there for you.
I think the tape says if Brady or Jason do not use.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool. So no.
I don't know if Jason can read though.
Shit.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Oh, we'll sort that out in a bit. It's fine.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
You best go make your way to the.
Yeah. Right. Wish me luck, guys.
Everyone wish Matt luck as we go down to the ring. That's Waluigi out first, giving Matt just an extra second to limber himself up. Waluigi out here in his funky special occasion gear. This is his first time here at a People's Live event, so he thought he'd go absolutely all out. He heard it was a Halloween party, so he bought a piñata for us all to beat together. Isn't he a good member of the Wrestling is Silly roster? Yeah, Waluigi real jazzed to finally meet Matt. And speaking of Matt, I think it is time to introduce him.
Let's go. One more time. You got this. You know, lost the last time, and got my ass kicked the second time. But this is fine. This is fine.
Where Matt making his way to the ring, accompanied by a rocking guitar riff once again. Maybe the rocking guitar riff can empower him the way it empowered Gus earlier in the night.
At least the music's good. Like how I might have had a good choice, mate. Good choice on music.
Very
Well
good
done.
choice, you.
Thank you. Well, Luigi, bro, nice to see you again. Can I have some more evidence of opinion? Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll talk about it after the match when we win this match. Yeah. 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 We'll win this match. We'll win one match. Yeah. I'm ready. Shiny trousers.
And here are their opponents. All the nervous energy of a first date. That
It's
does
fine.
sound about right. And here is Dead by Daylight, Freddy and Jason.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, no, yeah, great. Impressive fireworks, guys. Yeah, fantastic. You're
Oh,
ringing
yeah, there's
yourself. Good.
Pyrotechnics
Fine.
for your bingo cards now. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, two infamous serial slasher villains here on the roster of Wrestling is Silly. Multiple deaths under their belts.
They're not talking about them killing people on their body counts on the death Waluigi. They like to talk about killing people. I don't think they're going to kill us. It'll be fine. I think they're contractually allowed to kill us. It's fine.
Of course, yes. This is not a coffin match. This is not a casket match. There will be no deaths, hopefully, in this match. But it is Extreme Rules, so everything is to play for. Freddy and Jason both very slowly making their way into the ring now, really feeling the energy of the crowd.
Get Waluigi. I don't know if you've been in an Extreme Rules match before, but the idea is to beat them up more than they beat us up, and then we win. That's the strategy. Let's go. Go team.
Really getting the most out of those fireworks. Really dominating the energy of the ring right now.
People just like to show off, don't they? Oh, look at me, I've got fireworks. Right.
And here we go. Tornado Tag Rules once again. Waluigi hooking up with Jason Voorhees.
You get him, buddy. Yeah, I'll get him.
Matt getting some strikes onto Freddy, and Waluigi going for that springboard elbow. Freddy ground and pound on Matt. Oh, Jason dropping out of the way out of that drop kick. And just Freddy almost throwing Matt to the outside. A swift drop kick takes him to the floor as Jason, Waluigi rolls out the back of Jason, grabs the waistlock, and a huge release German suplex on the back. Freddy just kicking shades of shit out of Matt Berry.
Right, come on, you.
And Matt just throwing Jason throwing Freddy into those steps and just ground and pound. Freddy trying to get his guard up, but still taking damage off those strikes. And here is Matt going for what the people want. It's that turkey dinner armbar. Grabbing at that hand. Yes. Meanwhile, Waluigi gets a cover, gets a 1 count in the ring. Jason, however, gets the boots up. Freddy thrown asunder to the other side of the outside. Once again, it's Extreme Rules, no countouts at all. Oh, huge headbutt there from Waluigi. Whereas Matt on the outside, oh, eats a face full of staircase. Big scoop slam from Waluigi on the inside of the ring.
Ow. My arms,
Waluigi.
I need that for arm stuff.
Oh, Jason sneaking out the back door. Oh, and just hand in the mouth, choking out. Oh. Matt going for, I think it was a Spanish fly on the outside there, getting the upper hand off of Freddy. Throwing Freddy into the staircase now.
Yeah.
Inside of the ring, what's happening? Matt going for a weapon.
What was the stuff that Eden put under here for me? Yeah, there we go.
He's found the kendo stick. I wrote his name on that kendo stick for a reason. Quick DDT on the inside. Oh. Matt being thrown to the floor, but Freddy not going for the kendo stick. Matt breaking up the pin. Oh, and quick strikes. Oh, getting that waist lock and just yanking back at the skin into a... Oh! Into a...
Yeah, didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, beautiful move.
Freddy now you. Okay, Jason.
Oh, quick DDT from Jason as Waluigi and Freddy both roll to the outside, stomping on that top wrist lock. Jason going up to the top rope. Oh, a big elbow, just taking all the air out of the lungs of Matt there. Gets the pin. Just the 2 count though. Freddy and Waluigi both up to their feet. Waluigi gets the first shot in. What do we got? Captures the arms. Oh, a tiger backbreaker. Jason comes back in with a baseball bat. Oh, beautiful deflection from Matt. Oh, it's just a 2 count though. Where the hell did that bat go? It's big spear.
Spear, bitch.
Gets the pin. Still just a 2 count though. Waluigi finds that kendo stick. Freddy manages to roll out with the first hit. Does not block the second though. Tag team wrestling chants from the crowd. Matt in the ring. Oh, Jason rolls over, gets the ground and pound. Seems the kendo stick flew into the crowd, so we are back to 0 weapons now. As Matt throws Jason onto the apron and just, taking shades out of Dead by Daylight's own book. These 10 stabs to the chest. Oh, just really laying him in there.
Goofy fuck.
Slipping out to the outside. And just, wrenching at that back and stomping Jason into the mat. Quick kicks now. Matt has been really getting into shape for this match. Waluigi and Freddy just staring each other out on the opposite side. Jason getting the upper hand now.
You got it, Waluigi. I got this.
Oh, scooped up from Jason.
Oh no.
Just hardest part of the ring now. And just being kicked right in the thigh. Jason with the upper hand now. Waluigi and Freddy still just staring at each other. Neither man helping the other. And stomping on that top wrist lock once again. Jason taking Matt to his feet. Scooping up.
Even Japanese Andre's not looking out for me right now.
Head collides with apron. And just a swift kick to the stomach. Jason really taking the upper hand in this combat. Waluigi and Freddy still unbroken. Two-handed choke slam. Matt breaks with the arm drag though. Yes, through a striking combination, pushes Jason away. And a quick flatline and a just trying to make the most of it. Kicks to the gut of Jason now. Matt going into a frenzy. Once again, quick kick. Quick big strike combination, trying to get Jason down to his feet and not working. Gets the waist lock, and there's the Walu Rainmaker there, influenced by his tag partner.
Good in for you.
Going back in the ring.
You alright, buddy? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, just checking he's all right. Going for the waist lock, throwing Jason back into the ring. The staring contest still
Jason.
ongoing. I think Waluigi and Freddy have realized that this is between these two men. And they have just decided to make amends and let Matt
stupid anyway.
and Jason settle their differences.
No.
Oh, back in the top wrist lock. Oh, and just big strike and a leg drop. Oh, Jason breaking the stalemate now. Going for a waist lock onto. Oh, and just Jason not at all affected by that spinning back fist. Ooh, tornado neckbreaker there from Waluigi. Meanwhile, Freddy taking some energy out onto Matt, scooping up, and the Falcon out with Michinoku driver, sorry. And there's the standing moonsault. Meanwhile, Anaconda choke. Jason is tapped.
Yes.
Your winners tonight. Whoa, Matt Berry and Waluigi.
I knew we could do it.
There's that incredible bat deflection from Matt there. The spear inside the ring. And the Anaconda choke that put Jason away.
Yeah.
Waluigi and Whoa Matt Berry take the win. Let's give a shout out for Matt while we're here. Everyone go and follow the winner of this match. Whoa Matt Berry. Look at him taking in that win. Absolute beauty. Let's go. I'm gonna go down to the desk, give you a moment just to get back in your seat. That was an incredible effort from you and from Waluigi. I'll just give you a moment to return.
We love Matt.
We love Matt. And what do we got? Yeah! Confetti cannons for Matt. Have a confetti cannon release from Matt. Let me just scoop some up and give you a little bit more of that confetti. Well done on your win. That was an incredible match. I gotta say.
I did it.
You did it.
Oh, we won.
You and Waluigi got the win. You that whatever you did to just kick that bat like miles into the crowd, that was incredible.
I've been working on that for a week. It's been great. I've been spinning in circles like a Beyblade for a week to get that down. It worked out, paid off. Right?
That was amazing. That was an amazing match, and that I think you can nicely retire your wrestling career there if you wanted to. I mean, that is one hell of a match to go out off on.
I went neutral, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, but you won the final match, and I think that is the one that matters.
Also, I want to say both my matches have been Extreme Rules match, so I am now King of the Death Match too.
You are
so.
Whoa, Matt Berry, King of the Death Match. Yes, we love to see it.
I'm the best Matt.
Yes, you are. I am in awe at your performance.
That's the best tall Paul spot you'll ever see.
It's not the tall Paul spot, it was the co-headliner.
Well,
that was a
we do a
beautiful
prediction
match. Oh, we didn't do a prediction for that.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I should have reminded you. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I think we've got a call out from Detective Barry in the chat. I think you find that Fight Boyfriends are kings of the deathmatch, so Matt needs to fight one of them now.
maybe tell you what, we get to Graveyard Smash next year, I'll consider it. I need a bit of time to.
So are you not gonna fight again at our next People's Live event, Deck the Halls, coming this December?
I mean, maybe if people want that kind of super like holiday gift, maybe I will think about getting back in the ring. But for now, I'm just happy being in the chair for a while.
Or maybe because it's Christmas, I'll take your place.
We get the in-ring.
Maybe.
The rest of the maybe. Let's put a pin on that one. Maybe. Who knows? If you're all good for the rest of the year, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I have been training to wrestle every week for a year now.
Yeah,
so
you're an actual wrestler as opposed to.
so maybe I can take your place this Christmas.
Yeah, maybe see that Captain Eden spine buster.
Yeah, the big evil spine buster. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. So that was an incredible match. But we have arrived at our headline event, our main event for. Now we get to see Eden be a fake, real, fake fighter. Yes, yes, I am actual fake, real, fake fighter, Captain Eden. So we have arrived at our headline, our main event, and it is for the world title, Superman versus the Mac and Cheese Man. Now, this has been a hell of a rise to power from good old Mackie Chase. He really did take a little bit of energy and absolutely run with it. What do you think about this going in?
Oh, I mean, it's so like knife edge stuff, really. I mean, Mac Cheese has been punching above his little cheesy weight for a while now. Really took Superman to the limit a few weeks ago.
Really
at
did.
Superman's behest as well. So he is, however, I would say, coming off a very punishing loss.
That is also
Rogers.
true.
To this new Empire-empowered Steve Rogers. So, but I mean, Mac and Cheese is not one to go down without a fight. So
No.
And now he's fully in the main event of our People's Live event. So maybe the crowd power will get him through there. This is going to be down to how much Mackie Chase has in him, how much cheese sauce is coursing through those veins.
I think he might have used an extra flavor packet today. I think he's extra saucy.
Ooh.
I've seen him in training every single day. I follow him on Instagram, and every single day he's like hitting the gym, ready to take Superman down. I'm going to be the next world champion. He is really, really going for it today. So I think Mac's in with a chance. You know, I think Mac could topple the Almighty and bring down Superman.
The untoppable.
Yeah.
The unstoppable force of Superman.
But just go with me on this. Live with me. Play with me in this space.
Okay. Right.
Mac and Cheese. If Mac and Cheese Man topples the untoppable, imagine the sweet flips when Terry cashes in that briefcase. Imagine the sweet flips.
My goodness. It's got my flippy shit senses going crazy.
Yeah. For real. So
yeah,
shall we do it?
There's something else we got to go really look into. Yeah, Terry McGinnis is now
He's a contender now.
Yeah, wherever and whenever could happen right now.
It could, yeah, he could wait for Superman to lay the pin. He could wait for Mac and Cheese to lay the pin on Superman, run in, cash in, push Mac and Cheese off, and get the pin himself. It could happen. I'm not saying it will happen.
Going on here.
I'm saying it's legal. So shall we head down to the ring for the last time on this Graveyard Smash and take in our main event?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Championship.
Here he comes first.
As you've said, what a rise this young man's had.
Yeah, he's taken a few bright spots and turned it into a headline People's Live event, main event. What more could you ask for?
Taken every opportunity you can get, both hands. manages to pin Steve Rogers a couple weeks ago in that 6-man tag. So
And speaking of Steve Rogers, here is Steve's leader and the head of the Empire. When he's brought all of his Empire buddies out to play with him, like I predicted he would.
what's the point of having hired goons if you don't bring them with you, eh?
Yeah. And also sweet new look on Prince Adam over there.
That's actually He-Man, though, isn't it? It's not just Prince Adam, that's He-Man. Prince
no,
Adam has vacated the building, apparently.
He's just going by Prince Adam now. I don't know if he's killed him and taken his name or...
Ooh. Wow, that's a real dark turn for He-Man. I thought they were good friends. A lot of black and gold on this team, but there's only one bit that really matters.
Yeah.
Wrestling is Silly World Championship.
That big beautiful belt is the only thing that matters come the end of the day, and these three men are not going to be happy if Mac and Cheese Man leads wearing it.
Been held in the iron grip of Superman since our first real tournament.
Yeah. We started Wrestling is Silly with the world title tournament, and Superman won that tournament after I think the first month, and has held the title ever since.
So any real power that Mac and Cheese has got to be diverted 3 ways now. Because I don't trust the Empire not to be down here with the morals. No.
Yeah, I don't trust them to stay out of it, if I'm honest. Hopefully Japanese Andre can keep him in check, but he's only one man.
I was saying in chat, Superman never lost a singles match in the entire history of Wrestling is Silly. Every single one. So it's bizarre. It continues to be bizarre that something this powerful decides that he needs backup.
But
here we are, living that world.
The one most recent time he has lost a match were by the hands of the Mac and Cheese Man, or by those cheesy hands.
Introducing the challenger from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at
Repping St. Louis, Missouri, the place where mac and cheese was invented.
Is that for real, Grim?
That is for real.
Nice. Hometown pride.
Hometown pride.
And introducing the champion from out of this world, weighing in at 316 pounds, he is the world champion, Man of Steel.
So this is our main event for the world title of Wrestling is Silly. Japanese Andre once again doing the honors.
Mackie Chase's second shot of the belt.
Second shot at a belt.
Yes.
Yes, because he had a shot with the shot of the Raw title, fell to the hands of Colonel Sanders, but he's come a long way since then. And here we go. First lockup, Superman gets the upper hand, raises Mac onto his shoulders and starts with a snake eyes. There's one for your bingo cards, but Mac and Cheese not easily taken down. Oh, huge Pele kick there. Again, Superman, though, not taking it lying down. Oh, just spinning Mac around on his shoulders. Oh, just a spin-out powerbomb there. Mac just going for the kicks up onto the top rope. And a big splash. Quick kicks, capturing that arm. That is his Superman punching arm. So that's probably a good idea to debilitate that arm if you can. Ooh.
Iron grip of the other one.
Oh, just driving him down with that shoulder. Superman really showing off his dominance in this contest. Oh, and a big European uppercut. And just beating down, taking a moment to show off, but just beating down onto Mac and Cheese Man. But as we know, there's the jawbreaker. Mac and Cheese Man is a tenacious fighter.
Every time you think you got him beat, he's got something else to pick him out.
So, ooh, jumping down to the outside. This is a brave thing to do with the Empire outside. Oh, Superman getting those boots up. Did he just teleport?
Yep. Yeah, I think that counts as a teleport. Oh.
Ooh, just a standing Spanish fly. You don't want to see a fly in your mac and cheese, but we'll let him get away with it this time.
Ooh.
Jumping in the ring to reset the count. Springboard Hurricane Rana from Mac and Cheese Man, making his name known. And again, just targeting that arm there, that Superman punching arm. Oh, Superman just tossing him over by the neck.
Oh, hey Steve.
Oh, there's Steve. Superman throwing him in before Steve has a chance.
Oh my goodness!
Superman stopped to pose and a huge springboard shotgun dropkick from Mac and Cheese Man shut him down. Oh, and there's the standing shooting star press. Oh, knees up after a second though.
It's the well too many times in that one.
Yeah. Oh, but still, big strikes, reversing the waist lock there. Oh. Oh, and a guillotine onto the top rope, and I think that has bust open the ketchup fountain. Another quick play into the crowd. Oh! Mac and Cheese managing reversing into a big DDT there. Oh, Superman catches the boot. And throws Mac into the corner. What's he got planned now? Oh, just a quick series of uppercuts. Oh, sends him into the opposite corner and a huge uppercut. And back to where he started for one more.
Here comes a spear.
Oh, and a big drop kick in the center of the ring. Gets the cover.
Whoa,
that was a scarily long count there from Mac and Cheese Man.
Working over that head wound.
Oh, and just dropping the fist right onto the face. Oh, and again goes to the well too many times. Mac rolls out of the way. Oh, a big clothesline sends him over the rope. Oh, my goodness. Spring over the top rope, springboard senton. Again, dropping onto that. Mac is playing a smart game, trying to take out the arms of Superman. Just driving the knee into the face now. Oh, Superman gets the knee up there, reverses momentum, and throws Mac into the stairs.
I'd like to everyone also say hello to our conventional broadcast partners who are sitting down by the ring.
Yes, that is.
You can see them just at the bottom left there.
Yes, that's for our friends over at Fight TV. They're hosting the commentary over there. Oh, can Mac roll out? Oh, I don't think he can. Oh, and just driven back first into that steel staircase. It's the steel barricade, sorry. A lot of damage being done on the outside. Mac and Cheese Man.
Oof.
The only upside is on the outside. Mac and Cheese Man cannot be pinned, so maybe taking all this damage on the outside may be good for him. Maybe. Mac throwing Soups back into the ring. He wants a traditional fight. This is what he trained for. Oh, code breaker. Oh, Superman gets the boots up though.
Wasn't able to stun the champion for too long.
He's the champion for a reason, as much as we don't like it. There's that big Superman forearm. Gets the cover.
Oh my
there's
goodness.
the win. Superman remains undefeated in singles action. The reign of Superman goes on. Oh,
The Empire stands.
the Empire stands tall. Superman cheating allegations by Detective Barry of Superman and Mr. M in the chat. Let's go back to the desk and try and debrief after all that, because that was one hell of a contest from Mac and Cheese Man. Put up one hell of a fight.
Yeah, just again, like there were so like bright spots there by Mackie, but I guess in the end, like just the sheer power of Superman wins out again. Like there's continued along with this very dominant title reign. That who's going to be able to step up? He's got this every single time he takes someone down. Who's going to be able to stop him this time? Someone really needs to find it within them to bring themselves up to the main event to take on Superman.
Yeah, I mean, he's faced off against some of the best competitors we have here in Wrestling Is Silly, and of course, I think it's easy to say the next one in line is going to be Terry, but Terry has to defend the case every week. Terry has to make sure that he keeps the case before he can actually, cash it in. So maybe Terry won't even make it to Superman, but I think anyone in that chamber has a shot at the title. I think even Winnie the Pooh.
Even Winnie the Pooh. I say the case is in play once again. So regardless of who holds it, as you said, Superman's got and the Empire have to have their head in the swivel now.
Yeah.
God bless Mackie Chess, man. Always stepping up.
Again, this isn't the last we've seen of old Mac. I think he's shown the Wrestling Is Silly world just what he can do, just what he can be, and I think it's gotta give soon, right? Superman can't have that much left in the tank, can he?
Kryptonian, man, who knows? They're built different,
Yeah, they are in fact built different, but perhaps it's got to be someone. Got to be someone.
Yeah.
So we are drawing Graveyard Smash to a close now.
What a fucking show, dude.
What a fucking show. What an absolute show. We saw, let's just run through the card once again, just to remind ourselves of what a fucking show it was. We had the absolute banger that was Mr. M versus Majima in that Twitch title match. And while Mr. M did retain, we saw exactly what Majima could do. We had Slenderman versus Gus in that no holds barred match, and Gus coming out on top
with the submission victory.
Yeah, making Slender Man tap the fuck out. And just, really coming out on fire. We had the Elimination Chamber, and what can we say about the Elimination Chamber? Terry, the Horse, Abe, Casual Joker, Winnie the Pooh, the return of Luigi. It's one hell of a contest. Sonic Generations Dangerous Alliance in the inaugural tag title match. We saw Sonic Generations, the oldest tenured tag team here in Wrestling Is Silly, finally getting their hands on tag gold and firing up an entire division of people to chase that gold after them. We had Waluigi and yourself coming out victorious against the evil Dead by Daylight, putting to bed Dead by Daylight for a while. And finally, Mac and Cheese Man versus Superman. You just saw what an incredible match those two put on. And again, while Superman did retain, we saw the fire in the eyes. That fire-roasted mac and cheese is not going to be held down for long.
Extra saucy, extra
tangy Mac and Cheese Man. I mean, what was your match of the night?
I mean, obviously, it's going to have to be me and my boy Waluigi. I think the best, my probably the most enjoyment I got for this evening, for a match that I wasn't in.
Yeah.
Probably the Chamber. I've got to say the Chamber was probably just watching like Terry take the opportunity by the scruff of the neck and like put himself into prominence.
And run with it, yeah. He came out and said, "Hey," he grabbed the world by its neck and went, "I am your man. I am it." I think my match of the night has got to be Mr. M versus Majima. I think that the back and forth in that just really, really explosive. Just I love to
as
see
the kids
it.
say, it was a banger of an opener.
It was an absolute banger, and of course, Wrestling is Silly is back every single week. This is not a one-off. This Wrestling is Silly will be back weekly for our regularly scheduled events. And in December, date to be confirmed, we will be holding Deck the Halls, our next big People's Live event. Once again, right here on twitch.tv/QueerBuccaneer. But where can the world find you, Whoa, Matt Scary?
Well,
King
Matt
of the
Scary.
Deathmatch.
King of the death matches, yeah. You shouted me out earlier, but thank you very much. Any social media you can find, Womat Berry. That's me. I'm a Pokemon kind of guy.
Pokemon
Don't
kind
know
of
what
guy.
that means. Yeah.
Like
still in the
capturing
building
beasts.
process, but Scarlet and Violet's coming out soon, and I'm very excited. So expect to see me just. If you do end up following me on things, I'm just going to flood your timelines with Pokemon stuff. And
Lots of
you're gonna
Pokemon,
love
but it's very good
to hear.
Pokemon.
Yeah, very good Pokemon stuff. Thanks. But yeah, that's me.
And you can find me everywhere on the socials at Queer Buccaneer. Twitter and Twitch are the two big ones. And if you happen to live in the Midlands of England, this is a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to be doing a live comedy show on November 11th at the New Foresters in Nottingham as part of Nottingham Comedy Festival. You go to bit.ly/foolishknots, that's all lowercase, bit.ly/foolishknots, then you can go and find all the details for that. It's free entry. Come and see me in person. I'm very funny. I'm going to be doing magic. There's going to be a drag queen. There's going to be a poet. It's going to be fucking amazing. And yeah, so Queer Buccaneer on all the socials, and there we go. Worm Berry has been caught by Bude RPG. You have been caught now. You wear so many hats. You're a Pokemon. You're a Deathmatch King. You're a Pokemon catcher. You do so much.
I'm just so multi-talented, dude.
So
I have to go
very
lie down after that
multi-talented.
Extreme Rules match, though.
Yes, I think you definitely need a lie down.
That kick took a lot out of me, you know.
So we are, like I said, we're coming up to the close now, and a friend of Wrestling is Silly, Tin Can Audio, is currently doing a live stream. So we're gonna go raid into Tin Can Audio. So they are making some music. Very good audio wizard is Dev over at Tin Can Audio. So go and say hi to them. Your raid message is there. Queer Pirate Raid if you're a sub. If not, sub in your own emotes, but just shout Queer Pirate Raid at Dev. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Franz Island Discord server. Come browse our wares. You can still get your Gay for Halloween pin in time for Halloween at nerdyqueer.com. And Graveyard Smash was an absolute hoot. Thank you all for joining me and indulging me in my nonsense.
It was fantastic. You did a great job. I'm so proud of you.
And as always, Buccaneer, Bookafar, wherever the book you are, I hope you're having a fantastic time. I'll see you in the next one. And love you, bye.